Assalamu alaikum. This is Prapunti Chakraborty welcoming you to the English news from Btv-Chattogram. Let's begin with the top stories. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman calls SSF for fulfilling duties with utmost professionalism in line with modern world. All media brought together by government agree to work unitedly to ensure environment for independent media, says Information and Broadcasting Minister. Government wants to build integrated communication system through buses, metro and monorail, informs Road Transport and Bridges Minister. Army Chief promises to turn the force into professional one equipped with modern weapons. U.S. President Trump and Iranian President Pezeshkian signed memorandum of understanding to pave way for ceasefire and further talks. Viewers, those were the top stories. Now moving on to the details. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman has urged the Special Security Force (SSF) to ensure that security arrangements do not isolate him from ordinary citizens, saying public trust and affection remain his greatest source of strength. The Prime Minister made this remark while addressing a program organized at the Prime Minister's office in the city's Deshgaon area today, marking the 48th founding anniversary of the SSF. He said the SSF must maintain a delicate balance between protecting the head of government and ensuring the comfort and governance and covenants of citizens, adding that the force's professionalism is reflected in how effectively it manages such situations. The Prime Minister said the security environment has changed significantly since the force was established 4 decades ago, with socio-economic, political and geopolitical developments along with rapid technological advancement creating multidimensional security challenges. He stressed the need for SSF personnel to remain prepared through modern and up-to-date training, saying there is no room for a specialized force to lag behind in courage, skills, strategy, or technology. He assured the force that the government will continue taking all necessary measures to further strengthen its professional capabilities in line with evolving global standards. The Prime Minister also urged SSF members to treat citizens with respect while performing their duties.
আধুনিক বিশ্বের সঙ্গে তাল মিলিয়ে এসএসএফকে আরো কর্মদক্ষ করে গড়ে তোলার লক্ষ্যে সরকার প্রয়োজনীয় সব ধরনের পদক্ষেপ অব্যাহত রাখবে ইনশাআল্লাহ। আরো একটি বিষয়ের উপরে আপনাদের দৃষ্টি আমি আকর্ষণ করতে চাই। অবশ্যই আপনারা গুরুত্বপূর্ণ ব্যক্তিদের নিরাপত্তাকে সর্বোচ্চ প্রাধান্য দেবেন, তবে দায়িত্ব পালন করতে গিয়ে জনগণ যাতে কোনো রকম রূঢ় ব্যবহারের শিকার না হন সেদিকেও আপনাদেরকে বিশেষভাবে নজর রাখার জন্য আমি আহ্বান করব।
The Director General of the SSF, Major General Mahbubus Samad Chaudhry, delivered the welcome address at the event. Home Minister Salahuddin Ahmed, Prime Minister's Defense Advisor, Brigadier General Retired Dr. AKM Shamsul Islam, and Prime Minister's Principal Secretary ABM Abdus Sattar were present, among others. A documentary on the activities of the SSF was screened during the event. Later, Prime Minister Tariq Rahman cut a cake to mark the 40th anniversary of the SSF. Earlier, Prime Minister Tariq Rahman inaugurated the modern indoor firing range of the Special Security Force SSF. On that occasion, Prime Minister Tariq Rahman also planted a sapling and neem during the indoor firing range building. Information and Broadcasting Minister Zahiruddin Shapun has said that the government will ensure freedom of media as part of its efforts to reform the state, and a roadmap is being prepared to achieve that goal. He made the remarks this morning at a workshop held at a hotel in the capital. The workshop was organized by the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting with the objective of formulating a framework for a national media commission. Representatives from all stakeholders in the media sector participated in the event. Speaking at the program, Chattogram, State Minister for Information and Broadcasting Yasir Khan Chaudhary called on the media to identify government shortcomings and engage in constructive criticism. The keynote paper at the workshop was presented by the Prime Minister's Information Advisor, Dr. Zahidur Rahman. Information and Broadcasting Secretary Mahbooba Farzana was present, among others. The speakers discussed the formation of the Media Commission as well as its scope to work and operational producers. Road Transport Minister Sheikh Robibul Alam has announced that 4 bus terminals in the capital will be relocated outside Dhaka within the next 2 to 2.5 years. He also said that the government has decided to stop the practice of picking up passengers indiscriminately across the city and instead operate buses under different company-based management systems. The minister made these remarks today during a dialogue organized by the BSRF at the Secretariat. At the event, he also stated that around 400 new rail coaches and locomotives are being procured to improve the quality of railway services. He added that a monorail system will be built alongside the metro rail network. According to the minister, this will make travel easier for people living in districts surrounding the capital. Responding to a question, he said that the soil benefit and the rail bridge has not been sold. Although excess soil was supposed to be removed during the bridge's construction, that was not done at the time. The soil has now been removed, and he assured that it would not cause any damage to the bridge. International demand for Bangladeshi fruits has increased. To sustain this trend, Agriculture Minister Mohammad Aminur Rashid emphasized the importance of producing safe and high-quality fruits as well as developing modern storage facilities. He made the remarks today while speaking at a seminar at the Agricultural Research Institute in the capital, marking the National Fruit Fair 2026. Agriculture Secretary Dr. Rafiqul I. Muhammad chaired the seminar. Bangladesh Agricultural Research Council Executive Chairman Dr. Muhammad Abdus Salam and representatives from various government and private organizations also spoke at the function. Speakers at the seminar discussed increasing local fruit production, diversified use of fruits, modern preservation methods, development of the processing industry, nutrition security, and the potential for fruit exports. Earlier, the Agriculture Minister inaugurated the 3-day fruit fair and visited the stalls. State Minister for Foreign Affairs Shama Abed called for stronger humanitarian support, better protection for civilians, and a greater role for women in peace efforts as humanitarian crises continue to worsen around the world. She made the call yesterday while addressing the Humanitarian Affairs segment of the United Nations Economic and Social Council. Shama Abed said, under the leadership of Prime Minister Tariq Rahman, Bangladesh is expanding social safety net programs, strengthening disaster preparedness, promoting women's empowerment, and supporting vulnerable communities. Expressing deep concern over the growing suffering of women and children in conflict-affected regions, she also drew international attention to the widening gap in humanitarian funding. The state minister stressed the need for continued international cooperation to find a sustainable solution to the Rohingya crisis and called for their swift preparations to Myanmar. She also praised the professionalism, leadership, and contributions of Bangladeshi female peacekeepers serving in UN peacekeeping missions and urged greater and more meaningful participation of women in peace and security initiatives. The second day of testimony is underway in a case filed over the killing of 2 people, including a Jatiyotwadi Chhatra Dal leader in a crossfire incident in Borshal. Former lawmaker and former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's cousin Abul Hasnad Abdullah is among the 4 accused. Former Sub-Inspector Nozrul Islam is giving his statement today at the International Crimes Tribunal 2. Meanwhile, at International Crimes Tribunal 1, testimony is also being heard in a separate case over alleged enforced disappearances and torture at the Joint Interlocution Cell during the Al-Malik government. Sheikh Hasina and 12 others, including military officials, are accused in this case. Victim Shuman of alleged disappearance and torture is giving testimony in this case today. Chief of Army Staff General Waqar has called upon newly commissioned officers to carry out their responsibilities of protecting the country's independence and sovereignty with dedication, integrity, and professionalism. He came up with the call today while addressing the President's parade as the chief guest at the Bangladesh Military Academy BMA in Btv-Chattogram, marking the commissioning of officer cadets of the 90th BMA long course. After completing 3 years of training, 184 officer cadets from the 90th BMA long course were commissioned into the Bangladesh Army. Besides, 7 foreign cadets, 4 from Palestine, 1 from Tanzania, 1 of Zambia, and another 1 from the Maldives, successfully completed the training. Battalion Senior Under Officer Khairul Islam of the Corps got the Sword of Honor and the Army Chief Gold Medals as the best all-round cadet. Meanwhile, the Army Chief also inaugurated the 2nd Bangladesh Battalion and several newly constructed facilities at the BMA. Senior military and civilian officials, guardians, and invited guests attended the ceremony. Now, international news. U.S. President Donald Trump and Iran President Masoud Pezeshkian has electronically signed an initial deal to end the war, extending the current ceasefire for another 60 days. Both sides said the deal is in effect, and U.S. officials said it includes Iran not developing or buying a nuclear weapon, ending the war on all fronts, and the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. President Donald Trump signed the agreement in Versailles after attending the G7 summit in France, while Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian signed the document in Tehran. Pakistani Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif also shared photos of himself signing the memorandum as a mediator. Although the memorandum of understanding between the U.S. and Iran has been signed, distrust remains between the two countries, and both warned that hostilities could resume. As details of the deal were revealed at the G7 summit in France, President Donald Trump warned the U.S. would bomb the hell out of Iran if it didn't abide by the terms of the deal. On the other hand, Iran's parliamentary speaker and key negotiator Mohammad Baghir Ghalibaf also said that even if there is a final peace agreement, it is still not trustworthy. Crude oil prices have dropped heavily following a historic peace agreement between the United States and Iran. This breakthrough has significantly eased global energy supply fears. Brent crude dropped 89 cents or 1.12% to $78.66 per barrel. Analysts state that the primary catalyst between the market slide is the heightened probability of Iranian crude rapidly flowing back into global trade networks. The International Energy Agency has warned that if Middle Eastern logistics completely normalize alongside existing production, the global market faces a massive excess supply glut. Market analysts believe that the movement of oil prices will largely depend on how quickly the agreement is implemented in the coming days. Israel has continued its attacks on the occupied West Bank, ignoring the ceasefire, despite a U.S.-brokered ceasefire between Israel and Hamas that took effect in October last year. At least 1,005 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli attacks on Gaza. The Gaza Health Ministry said the death toll from the Israeli offensive in Gaza and exceeded 73,000 so far. Israeli forces and Israeli settlers launched fresh attacks on several towns in the occupied West Bank on Wednesday. Israel also announced the cancellation of the Hebron agreement. The Palestinian news agency Wafa reported that the extensive damage to property and disruption of transportation were reported in the past few hours in the operation targeting civilians.